still don't know how to rotate the screen, and I'm gonna keep this mic in front of me so people can hear me. I'm at a park right now. Pretty cool mural right there, hummingbird, and there's a playground with people playing, children playing. Just gonna walk and talk a bit. I Well, let's start with last week first off. It was one of the craziest weeks of my life, and I just wanted people to know that if I wasn't posting, it's just a lot of stuff I was dealing with. But I did do the roundtable on Saturday, but it unfortunately got deleted immediately. So only like 10 people saw it. I tried to put it back up, and it didn't work. So what I'm going to do is re-edit it and then just upload it so hopefully people can check it out. But this video is a new series that I'm starting called Dealing With / Shit No One Teaches You. And I'm only talking about my experiences, really. That's all I can really concretely share, right? So I was sexually molested once as a child, and I've actually never told anyone this. So it's kind of interesting that I'm doing it on YouTube because, I don't know, it just seems like it's easier to talk to a screen than a bunch of people like looking at you. So yeah, it was only once, and I didn't really know what was going on, which is usually the case when children are molested, which makes sense. And look at all this dew. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't want to mess up the dew. And someone asked me, actually it was the person who did it, to be honest. And it was just weird because they were like, they asked me if it affected me, and I don't think there's any way for something like that to not affect someone, even in ways that people don't realize or understand. You know, there's a lot of subconscious psychology that goes on, and it dictates people's behavior, and they're not always aware of this. So even if it's just one time, I think it's inevitable that it's going to affect a child. And I want to be clear too that there's definitely a spectrum. I think the universe is full of spectrums. Very few things are binary, right? Ones and zeros, blacks and, well, that's it, ones and zeros, right? Because black and white isn't even binary if you understand colors. So I guess my purpose with sharing this is I just want people to talk about it more, I think, because I think it happens a lot, and people just don't share it because it's kind of weird to talk about. How do you bring that up to someone? But yeah, back to the spectrum thing. I wanted to talk about that because what I went through is a drop in the bucket, okay, compared to what some of these people have experienced, and it's been torture for them. I've interviewed some of them on my channel, so if people want to check that out, they can. But there is a spectrum. It only happened once to me. I didn't have lasting physical injuries from it. So I'm lucky in that sense, because some people have been abused and tortured for years. And I just watched this documentary called Conspiracy of Silence. I'm actually going to do a review of it when I get home. But I wanted to do this first. And I didn't plan this. I just wanted to go off the cuff because I don't know. I just thought it would be more genuine. I think another thing I should talk about is honesty as a core value, because someone who lies about being a victim, that just does so much damage to any victim anywhere. So I think being honest about what actually happened is really important, and not to downplay it, but also not to exaggerate it for some sort of gain, because it just muddies the whole situation. And you see people doing this now, which is unfortunate, but yeah, I think I just wanted to share that. I don't really have any actionable advice other than talking about it, whether it's with a therapist or with some sort of third party. Maybe you're just talking to a camera like this, or to your photo booth. Because maybe you don't even have to record it. You can just talk to your mirror in the morning. And that's something I do too, actually. And someone in my family gave me that idea too. Look yourself in the eyes and talk to yourself. So, verbalizing thoughts and talking about it, because it's so common, and it's boys and girls. It's the stat I looked up recently. I don't know if this is true. It's 25% of boys and 30% of girls, which is almost the exact same number, which I don't think a lot of people realize. But yeah, I guess now, being in this situation, this pandemic, it's a dark time for a lot of people. It's a really dark time for humanity. Funny. The rest of the nature, they have no idea what's going on with humans. All they do is react. They don't care about what we're doing. But it is a dark time for humans. And we're going through a rebirth, a transformation, where we must collectively die. And I mentioned this before. The phoenix must die before it can be reborn. And it's painful. It's painful going through change. Any sort of change is uncomfortable. And I think that's why people don't like change, is the discomfort and sometimes pain that you feel from change. And I think it's the worst when it's change that you can't control. It's one thing to work on yourself, but when there are external forces forcing you to change, that is when it's the most uncomfortable. the most painful. And that's what's happening to everyone right now with this pandemic and the political situation too. So I just wanted to share that. I did get abused once as a child. I was sexually molested one time, and it has affected me to this day. I think it still affects me. And I have seen therapists about it and about other things too. So that would be my actionable advice, to talk, to share your thoughts with anyone, but ideally a third party or therapist. So that's my video experience on sharing what happened to me. Again, I've never told anyone this. I've never, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But when you face death, like we all, I think, are collectively facing death as we haven't before in the modern age, it forces you to face yourself. And I want to make sure that the change that I'm instilling is for the better. Peace, love, one mind, people. Thanks for tuning in. Stay frosty. Until next time.